Yeah.
Deacon.
And she went, John, the 13th chapter, verse 34 and 35. And it reads, Behold, no, excuse me, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have also loved you. By this all men should know that ye are my disciples, if you have loved one another. Is that right? So, while you're standing, I want to also go to 1 Samuel. That's in the Old Testament. 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter. 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter. Y'all read this when you get home. I'm going to skip about in some of those verses. But 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 1. There was a blessing from the Lord. Verse 1 in chapter 2. And Hannah prayed and said, My heart rejoiced in the Lord. My horn is exceedingly in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over my enemy, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none besides thee, neither there any rock like our God. Skip over to verse 20. The same chapter. Verse 20. And Eli blessed Helcah and his wife, and said, The Lord gave thee seeds of this woman for the loan, which is lent to the Lord. And they went unto their own home. Verse 21. And the Lord visited Hannah, so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. Verse 26. Listen closely. And the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with God, with the Lord, and also with me. I just want to talk about just for a few moments. God, a favor, called, and God hears. You may be seated. Favor, called, and God hears. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute, because y'all didn't catch that. What is favor? Anyone know what favor is?
Just like if you have 2 kids and you only pay one.
Either you're doing a favor for somebody that gave you nothing.
Favor shows love, kindness. Have I got a witness? Favor shows love and kindness. But here in this chapter we find where Hannah prayed. Y'all see that in verse 1 of chapter 2? She prayed to God. Why was she praying to God? Because her womb was closed. And she could not have any children. And in those days, it was embarrassing, should I put it in my word, for a woman to not have a child or children. So Hannah was a holy and righteous woman. be wonderful if this nation was like that? Even our president, everyone in the White House, wouldn't it be wonderful? But here, Hannah, they talked about her, they laughed at her. You can read chapter 1 and it'll tell you, but yet Hannah did not give up. And let me tell y'all something. Sometimes it seems like the weight of the world is on our shoulders, but don't give up. Prayer changes things. Have I got a witness? How many of you know God answers prayer? Just how many of you know that He will do exactly what He said? Oh, I wish I had some witnesses in here. So, Hannah prayed to God. And God answered her prayer.
All right.
It's a blessing that Hannah did not give up.
All right.
So, we talk about faith. Now, some says that even in the lesson, Sunday school lesson this morning, it was talking about how mothers and fathers have favor for a child. That's if you have 3 or 4, some parents show more favor for that one than all of them. So in the Sunday school lesson this morning, it was talking about Joseph. How his brothers turned their back on him. Have I got a witness? But yet God had favor in Joseph. You know, a lot of times we have dreams. We dream dreams and we cannot explain what that dream is. Or what it means. Even if you look at Daniel when Hezekiah could not understand the dream that he had. So he had to call on his servants. And none of them, and he told them, he said, I'll give you a necklace, I'll let you sit close to me if you can interpret the dream. They could not. So a man of God, they called him in. And he told him, he said, you can keep your kingdom. You can keep whatever you offer, but I'll tell you this dream. So Joseph here had a dream in the Sunday school lesson this morning. He had a dream. He started telling his dream. People were getting angry. His family was getting angry. But the dream came true. Y'all read Genesis the 37th chapter. It'll tell you. And those that missed Sunday school this morning, it'll tell you what the dream interpreted of, and his dream came true. The wheat, Joseph's wheat stood up, and his brother's wheat laid down. That was in the dream. So Joseph was telling them that means that y'all, the family's going to bow down to me. Have I got a witness? So the family was getting angry, and everybody was jealous of Joseph. Y'all know the story. So it didn't show any love there, but Joseph was telling the truth. And some people hate to hear the truth. But back up, God showed favor to him. Have I got a witness? He also showed favor to Joseph. But in this text, he showed favor to Hannah. Hannah was not upset in a way, but in a way she was, because I can't have children, but I'm not giving up. And that's the problem we have. We have a tendency, when we don't see our way through, we have a tendency to give up. But I still got to tell you, He may not come when you want Him, but He's always on time. Have I got a witness? So is my favorite color.
All right.
I just wonder, that Ford car is my favorite. No, that Chevrolet is my favorite. That Malibu is my favorite. Listen closely. I have a friend is my favorite.
All right.
I'm hearing all of the favorites on the earth, but what about somebody named Jesus? He ought to be your favorite. Have I got a witness? When he wakes us up in the morning, he's our favorite. We ought to tell him, thank you for letting me see another day. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? He's our favorite. Why should he be our favorite? But he hung, bled, and died on the end of the cross for my sin. Jesus is my favorite. Have I got a witness? The car, the clothes is fine, it's all right, but they can't save me. They can't love me like Jesus. Somebody wrote a song and said, can't nobody, y'all with me now, do me like Jesus. Can't nobody love me like Jesus. Can't nobody provide for me like Jesus. So favor means kindness and love.
Yeah.
So when we learn, and you know, it's hard for some people to say I love you. Have you been talking to some people on the phone? And you say, I love you, God bless you. You didn't hear, I love you too.
All right.
You heard,
All right.
or you heard, goodbye.
All right.
But it's better to tell the truth than a lie. If you don't love me, you don't love me. But I tell you what, love our neighbor.
Yeah.
Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Have I got a witness? But also he said, love ye one another as I have also loved you. By this all men should know that ye are my disciples. If you have loved one. I'm going to heaven. I'm going to heaven. You know I just can't stand Reverend Frazier. I'm going to heaven anyhow. Reverend Frazier broke down on the side of the road, and I know it's Reverend Frazier. I'll pass him by. I remember what he said to me before. I ain't going to heaven. I'm not going to stop. But sometime or another, if you're not careful, you go a mile further down from here, something may happen to your vehicle. And Reverend Frazier got his car, and he look at it and should he pass you by? But he'll stop and say, I'm going to help you. In his mind, he said, I knew you, and you didn't stop to help me, but I'm stopping to help you. The Bible tells us don't do evil. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? Favor called and God answered. So, to get it started, in Matthew 6:33, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God. And all of these things shall be added unto. So when he has favor in us, he's shown us favor. And that morning when he woke me up, this morning when he woke me up, I had favor to just say, thank you. It's another day's journey. Thank you, because I could have been dead in my grave, but you told death. Favor. Y'all both quiet this morning. So, favor is important. So God blessed Hannah. And Hannah prayed. Then I want you to look at Luke, the first chapter, 46 through 55. It tells about Mary. When Mary did not have, she did not have a son or any children. But God saw favor in Mary. Have I got a witness? So people lied and said they raped Mary. Y'all have heard that. They've said different things, but the Holy Spirit came and visited Mary. And she conceived, that angel came and visited. And she conceived and bare a son. And his name, have I got a witness? So, when she prayed to God, she said, now it shall, his name shall be called Jesus. Wonderful Prince of Peace. So she was telling everybody who he is. But yet they could not believe. Have I got a witness? So then Hannah prayed one of the same prayer. And when she prayed, God answered her prayer. Can you see Hannah rejoicing? She said, I didn't have any children. But now God fixed it for me. I have 3 sons and 2 daughters. Won't God make a way? If you only believe and trust in Him. God have favor in us if we only believe. Jesus will fix it. He fixed it for you. He'll fix it for me. But if I'm a grudging-hearted person and an evil-minded person, I have a long way to go to get my blessing. What are you saying, preacher? I have to change the way I think. I have to change the things that I do. I have to start living for Jesus. Are y'all getting the message? So, Hannah probably looked at other people and saw how the women was blessed with their children. And she had none. But I want you to look at verse 26 of chapter 1. And she said, oh, Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee there praying unto the Lord. What was she praying for? I'm praying that you will give me a child. Have I got a witness? But then look at verse 27. After God had blessed her, this is what she did. For the child I prayed, and the Lord has given me my petition, which I asked of him. Lord have mercy. Ask, and it shall. Y'all gonna help me out? Seek, knock. Have I got a witness? Hannah seeked, she knocked, she prayed. And God had favor in her, and He gave her what she asked for. Therefore, also I have lent him to the Lord. I'm going to explain that. As long as he lives, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshiped the Lord there. Lord, if you just bless me, go to Abraham. When God blessed Abraham with a son, have I got a witness? He offered him back to God. Here, Hannah, she prayed to God, and she asked him for a child, and he blessed her with the child. She said, now I'm going to give Samuel back to you, Lord. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So when God blessed her with the children, Samuel was given back to God because he was a spiritual child. He listened to what Eli said. And then God blessed him. So now I'm fixing to close, y'all. So now, as Samuel was growing, she said, now I'm giving him back to you. How many of y'all thank God for the children you have, you had, and you offered them when they was born back to God? Lord, I can't do nothing by myself, but I need you to help guide me to teach my children and help lift you up, God. Able them to sing praises unto you. Train up a child in the way it should go when he's old. They'll go astray, but yet they won't forget mother and father's teaching. So Hannah said, I'm giving him back to you. And when she gave him back, then verse 26 of the 2nd chapter says, and the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with the Lord and also with me. When you live right, when you live the best of your ability, God will supply all of your need, and he will open the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings that you won't have room enough to receive them. Lord, I thank you. Don't hold a grudge, but you trust in God. I made a mistake. I'm holding it over your head, but I go to God in prayer. And he said, in my prayer, give us this day our daily bread and forgive us. Oh, no. I can't forgive you because you made me mad. I can't forgive you because of what you said. But oh my God. Mark 11 and 24. Mark 11 and 24. It says, his disciples is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. So that let me know that I'm not above nobody. I sin, you sin, we all have I got a witness? I can't say this sin is better than your sin. I was drinking, you was dipping. Y'all didn't catch that. But I stopped by to tell you, a sin is a sin. But you pray and ask God, I don't care who you are, you pray and ask God for forgiveness. And when you pray and ask God, there's nobody but you and God. Whether you accept my apology or not, I've asked, I prayed, and I asked God for forgiveness. I asked you forgive me. How is it that you want me to forgive you, but you can't forgive me? Go back to greater love has no man than this. Have I got a witness? So therefore, if you know Jesus, that's the first point. You have to know him, and when you know him, you know that he will forgive you when these so-called Christians won't forgive you.
When I see Jesus, amen, and he'll tell you, depart from me. Your work is of iniquity. Have I got a witness? How can you say you love me whom ye have not seen, and you walk with your brother or sister daily? And should I add this? You can't stand the ground he walking. But I'm on my way to heaven anyhow. But there where Jesus began, God began to talk with Hannah, and God heard Hannah's prayer. And God came to Hannah and worshiped her and gave her what her prayer was. So he answered Hannah's prayer. And I want to tell you, can't nobody do me like Jesus. You may not be my friend, but Jesus is my friend. He walks with me. He talks with me. Even though it seems like I'm by myself, the weight of the world is on my shoulder, but I can steal away like Hannah did. I steal away and tell God all about my trouble. I can steal away and say, Jesus, you know my need. You know the trouble that I am in, but that's all